click it done if you want to. Right click. This and then this here. Which also is a bit of this here. Alright, so that's the main three that we'll be working with here. Trying to do this quick. Maybe this might be a 15-minute thing. Maybe, hopefully, we'll see. Whatever. I am black. I am black. What that looks like is I, and then am. I, you're conscious of. That's why it moves conscious clockwise, because you're conscious of that. Am is the spirit part. That's just the energy. It's eternal. It moves against time, outside of time, inside and outside of time, which is why on the thing here, you have the blue, the water, the feminine part, where everything is birthed from. It comes from the womb, the well, the water, and all that stuff. It came to you out of the blue. Yay, yippee. See, it moves inside and outside of time. This just moves in time, inside of time. So it's inside and outside. This is, see how it's more in. Try to get it more in, but still keep it centered, because you got to center stuff when you put it on t-shirts. The crosshairs have to line up. Anyway, so that's that. But yeah, so that's the masculine, the male, the Jesus wearing the red. This is the Mary wearing the blue. The sun is also a reflection of the father part. That's, you know, so yeah. But then this is you here. This is the mind, the Christ part. That's black. So I am black. You're thinking. You're black. That is the thinking, the logic. Okay, so you have the I here, the red part, and then the am, the blue. If you put one red dot here, and then I just said red because this is all the fire part. Shows you how those things come down, and then these things here are sin. But this is a rotating thing, and then this is also a rotating thing. Well, this is rotating counterclockwise. This is rotating clockwise. But if you could picture that whole thing in motion, that's what it would look like. But also rotating 360 degrees. Every type of 360 degrees. So it's a complete ball, just going all crazy. Yeah, Taurus kind of ball, because that would be the center where everything pulls in and out. Anyway, look, this is the point. This is the point. So I is the conscious part, am is the spiritual part, the red, the blue, the fire, water, and electricity. Okay, spirit, it's all the currency. Black, the energy there, the manifested part, the third part of the whole thing. Where's another one that we could pull up here? That would be I, all of the stuff there, and then am, all of the stuff there, and then black down here. Okay. What are we talking about when we're saying this?
From the burning bush, O Lord, you charged me to bring the people to this holy mountain, to behold your glory and receive your law.
I am the Lord thy God. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Written with the finger of God.
For folks who are familiar with the phrase, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Before is a funny word because it means literally time-wise, chronologically. So, when you're dealing with your conscious masculine part, if it comes before you, then it means you are at this point, let's say. So then it would be here. It is the root, the source of your consciousness. It's the focus of your consciousness. It's the thing that you place on the altar and illuminate. It has all the power. It is the God. There shall have no other gods before me. This is the God right here. As a matter of fact, whatever you put after I am, or before I am, is what has power over I am. That is placing another God before you. Before this is here, this is the key phrase. So, I, the conscious part, the red, the fire, the masculine, blah, blah, blah. Am, the blue, the water, the feminine, the water, electricity, the currency, the flowing part. And then black is the tangible, the express, the manifestation of these two and what you are focusing from the am. If it's purely I am, then you are all things. Sabbath state.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Right there. That's your divine, pure being, Sabbath self. Everything is everything. Everyone is everyone, blah, 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 blah. Right? Okay. I am black. Do not have any other gods before me. Don't put anything in front of yourself that was going to draw your attention. Your attention is the power. Right? So if this has your attention, if this is what you're focused on, and a lot of times this God is the thing that you get religiously. By religiously, I mean it's an organized system. A system that you did not create because it's an organized system. More than likely, came from outside. Its foundation came from outside, or it directly came from outside. I mean, by saying its foundation came from outside, a lot of people might not be, Catholic, right? You might not be completely Catholic, but your belief system it started from Catholicism. Your parents might have been Catholic, your family might have been Catholic. Catholic was around as far as your exposure to religion. Catholicism was the ground, the seed that got planted. Now, what grew from that, you molded and shaped that. But the root of it was Catholicism. It started with Catholic. You are rebelling against Catholicism. The power, the dominant part there is your belief or want to believe something other than Catholicism, Catholic. So there you go. So black is a thing that a lot of people think black is a race. It is not. Unless you were talking about a verb, race. It is not a noun, race. No, it is not. It could be an economic state. It's something to achieve. Blackness, being black. But like there are people of all different ethnic backgrounds in the race of humanity that are black. You have Africanized or African black people. You have Caucasian, what you call Caucasian black people. You have Hispanic black people. You have all types. Say Asian is stupid because that's like a third of the freaking play. You got Europe, you got Asia, and then you got like Africanized, and then America's all of those. So it's like down to 3. I mean, there's more, yes, but largely, really, trace it all back. It's like European, and then you got African, African, and then you got Asian. Like Indians are Asian, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, blah, 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 Asian. All right. Even some parts of the Middle East were considered to be Asian. I know. Yeah, even some European, they can say Caucasus Mountains came from Caucasus Mountain Asians, Caucasus Asians. So, I mean, or whatever, I've heard it explained that way. I don't know how true that is, but whatever. Heard it explained that way. Point is, black is an economic state. There's no country called black. People get into, Alkebulan, blah, blah. Is there a country called Alkebulan to this day? No? Okay, so then that black got erased and replaced with the new black.
I am not a god. In the sense that I can tolerate exploitation, oppression, and repression, my worshippers know. Freedom ain't free. They know the most potent weapon of control for the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. They know slavery is not a condition. Slavery is a cult. Human trafficking is a cult. Slavery got a rebrand like motherfucking the alt-right. And snatched. Another one gone. Every 30 seconds, another chocolate brown, caramel yellow, high yellow, red bone refugee girl with melanin in her skin gets snatched. Every 30 seconds. And to make matters worse, these dazzling new plantation owners built a pipeline to take our children from school to prison quicker than a cut can bleed. And the lucky ones go from school to the NFL, where they don't even let them niggas take a knee. They've been programmed from birth with shitty food options, contaminated drinking water, gun violence, police brutality, and trauma after trauma after trauma. PTSD, no therapy. Missing, no Amber Alert. Alone. Vulnerable. Snatched. Another one gone.
There's no country called white, is there? No, so how are you white people? And then check it out. How are black people and white people the only people who are, nationally, worldwide recognized as a people who do not have a country and there is no nation of them? It's not a national. Whatever. And then they, to try and sell it and smooth it over. Well, there's red people and brown people and yellow people and green people and grays. But yeah, the grays are probably the only honest one. There are green people, some insectoids and all that stuff. And then there's ones that are striped. The daggone Lyrians, if you get in all that stuff. Lyrians, whatever, the cat people. I'm not getting into Arcturians and blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares. All the crap at the bottom of the planet, hidden behind ice walls and blah, whatever. Who cares? Well, right now what we're dealing with is thou shalt have no other gods before me.
The Lord Jehovah, has given unto you these 15 10 commandments.
Put before or after I am is the other God that you're placing before yourself. Now, truthfully, honestly, down in the purest, easiest sense, there's this, the I am part. That's the beginning of all of it, the being. After that comes the conscious being. Am is the awareness. Awareness is there, it connects to all things. I, the conscious part, is a focused manipulation of awareness. It's an expectation of awareness, it's you willing awareness. Consciousness is just willed awareness. Says me, my own opinion. If you had to break it down, if I had to break it down in a simple way of explaining it, I would say consciousness is willed awareness. You have awareness, you see it, you are aware of it, but then you, being a conscious being, want something from what you are aware of. So now everything becomes a judgment of what you are aware of. Everything becomes a division. See, am is just everything being all together. I am, then you separate yourself from the rest of being. People talk about the original sin is, in Catholicism, oddly enough. The original sin, the thing that made Adam and Eve fall, they didn't fall. How are you already in a physical state and you're fallen? You're born, what? That's stupid. Anyway, your vibration was already in a tangible physical state. Some people say, well, then God made the flesh suits for them. He gave them garments. That was when they got skin. Okay, whatever. I've heard that before. It makes sense, but at the same time it doesn't. So, whatever. Anyway, anytime you're divided from everything else, consciousness would be the part that does the dividing. It's a necessary evil, if you want to call it the original sin, the division. Because they were separated from God. I was separated from Am. But then they started putting other stuff there. Wise, wisdom, eat the fruit, partake of the fruit. Not eat, but partake of the fruit. Partake is have action with, you have a relationship with it. Eat is just, you just eat it, you just consume it. Then you digest it, you get some energy from it, and then you crap the rest out, or piss it out, whatever. Anyway, the I part was not focused on the am. The am got overwritten by this thing, so this became the God. And people say that the division of self from the God to make another God was the original sin, the fall of mankind, and blah, 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 blah. However, if you go back to the beginning, the quote-unquote, whoever that people attribute to being God, because it is a conscious individual, it is an I. They introduce themselves as I am. They don't just say I am. They say I am. Of course, it's kind of hard to introduce yourself personally, but I mean, you can make an effort and just say being. That would do it. To say I am shows a separation. So anyone who's made in your image naturally would be I am, a conscious part, separated from the total spirit part. The Holy Spirit, by the way.
If you look at this picture here,
Darth Vader.
If you look at this picture here, right? This is all of the ways to be conscious. This is pure conscious being. This is holy conscious being. WHOLLY. Holy conscious being. This is spirit being right here. The AM, see? The AM. I am. I believe this is on a mouse pad or something. I'm still working on putting it on a shirt. I just have to divide it into two and then get a shirt and then make half of it black and half of it white. And just put this on the front. Should we do that now? So anyway, yeah, so, because it's going to line up and it would be weird to get it lining up and stuff. It's annoying. It's a very easy thing. It's a simple thing, but the process, see how, like, there's a little blip right there? Yeah, things like that. It makes it annoying. Anyway, this is the Holy Spirit, because the spirit part is the blue part, the blue, see? From this, you take individual pieces of the spirit, individual characters from the word. Which character from the word do you want to express? I? There you go. Consciousness, individuality, I. So now you're a conscious individual. A soul, if you want to do humanity, spirit of humanity. The Holy Spirit, basically, back to the explanation, Holy Spirit is the whole picture, the whole puzzle put together, all of the pieces together as one, so you see the whole picture, all of the spirits together, spirit of God, spirit of humanity, spirit of dogs, spirit of happiness, spirit of anger, spirit of lust, spirit of the devil, spirit of everything that is a spirit of drunk, spirit of sobriety. Every way to be, every way to be, is a spirit or an energy, a mindset. That's all it is. Okay, all of it. So that you pull one puzzle piece, and the conscious part sees and knows itself by using that puzzle piece to express itself. Conscious being, pull out Spirit of God from the Holy Spirit, boom. Conscious God being. That's your Elions, that's all the rest of the Elohims that came from the Elions, blah, blah, blah. It's not the original pure being. That is hard. So, there you go. There's that part. For the folks who can deal with it, there you go. Then you get into the whole I thing. So it's I and then am, right? As you can see, they're separate. Here, they're together. And the pure being, the whole pure being, right there. The holy being, the top one. It's both put together. This is the whole consciousness and then the whole non-consciousness. This is non-conscious spirit. This is conscious. Right there. Okay? All of it. But to know yourself, you have to see what you are. What am I? So you're going to say I here and then am there. These are the two components that make up myself. It also makes a vibration. Because you can see the energy that goes between the two. The more I go into what I am, what the am is, and that gets expressed here. That's why it's gray, this is black, this is white. Because you completely balance the two. You are yourself enough, but you've lost sight of yourself enough. And you have the spirit enough, but you've lost sight of the spirit enough. There's enough you and enough spirit together. But each thing is individual. You see, you can still see yourself and focus and do that. You can still see the spirit and focus and do that. Being in the spirit is 3 spiritual relationships, by the way. Being with the spirit, having a spirit, and being in the spirit. Okay? So, if you were to say black, right? This is you. This is black. Or, quote-unquote, being black. Am black. And this here would be a conscious black person. So, the deeper you get into it, because you could lose yourself in blackness. Which is funny, because you'd be completely white. If you know the system, then yes. If you lose yourself in blackness, you'd be completely white. Because that's who created the system. It's to benefit these people and use these people as the catalyst and as the foundation for this. If you didn't have this, this would fail, this would fall. That's how the system goes when it comes to black and white. Really, how much of white is based on what black built. Exactly. So, if The deeper you go into what you are being, the deeper you go into a spirit, the more you have a possibility, a chance, an option to lose sight of yourself. Wherever you are, whatever point in the relationship, in the vibration, in the knowing of the two things together, the having of this thing. When you're completely in it, you're completely in it. You might lose sight of yourself. If you're with it, all you have is sight of yourself, and you can see its whole self as well. See? It's with it. This is starting to have it, and then in there is when you're completely in it. You lose sight of yourself. When you look at the world, you see it through that color lens, not through the lens of yourself, through the lens of the spirit. Enough of that. Anyway, I should have no spirit. Ding, the thing cut off. Yay. Anyway, the thing about the folks who are in this whole I am stuff. I am affirmations and blah 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 blah. This is what you're really saying. That's where it comes from. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Be careful what you put there. That's why in an introduction, when you get I am, that's what that's about. It's just saying I am what I am. Really, it's just being. You just say that there. There you go. That'll nip it in the bud. Because the being is both how and what and why and everything that you are being. And it's also who is being. See, this is B-E, that part. Right? Being, king, bomb, bow.
King, bomb, bow.
Yay, life. Anyway, there you go. I am. That I am is just being. A being. One of these. That's why if you go to the shop, I had to bring it up. Come on, man. I had to bring it up. If you go to samurairuach.com and you go to the shop, Ruach is R-U-A-C-H, as you can partially see there. If you go to the shop, there's the whole being symbol collection of stuff, which is all of the stuff. Look, there's some mugs. That's neat. Hey, I gotta do hoodies with that. What the heck? I thought I had hoodies with that on there already. Apparently, I do not. Okay, there's some hat like that one. The skull version is the coolest one to me, so I did a lot more things with that on it. But there's all different variations of that. There's some laptop cases, the sleeves, little clothety sleeves. Phone cases, there's some mugs, there's, well, because it's got that in the corner. But I'll do another mouse pad thing. And this here is the one. If you're going to get an item of clothing, I like this jacket here. And, let's see, yeah, there you go. Being. That's what it's about. There you go. That's it broken down for you. That one looks cool. This one looks cool. As far as those style. But this thing here, yeah. This one here has everything on it. I went all out on this one and then just put everything on it. I don't know if you can see the pattern in there. It's all a paisley pattern. It's not a solid black. It's like a panther. I like that. Anyway, so yeah, inside of it is that purplish or black light color. You got the rug pull logo. Here's this picture on this sleeve is this one. No, wait. That's the picture that's on this sleeve here, along with the other one there and then that. But anyway, it's got all of the stuff on there. On this sleeve, I wish it would stop moving like that, but it's because it's not zoomed in. That's the one that's on that sleeve there. So on your right sleeve is this, and this here, or this one here. And then on your left sleeve is this, and the other one, that one there, I believe. And then on the back is this, which has everything in it, which is the same thing as this, but a little bit more detailed and cooler looking. This explains more, and it has the phrases on there. And then on the front is the doors are not exits, which if you get it, then you get it. Okay, sure, let's explain it. You can leave here, but you didn't leave here, you just went there. So, for the people who are focused on exiting, you know, like, I have to get out of here because this is all crazy and messed up and blah blah, it's just not working, it's just not worth doing, blah blah blah. Understand the doors are not exits. Figure it out here, because here's as simple and as stupid as it's going to get. This is the vacation here. This reality, this version of this life, this is it. The only easy day was yesterday. You're living in yesterday, because basically everything that you perceive is in the past. The light comes from light years ago, right? Everything that you hear was spoken, however long ago, sometimes a fraction of a second ago. This video you're watching was recorded in the past, and you're watching it in the present, but as soon as you see it, you're seeing what happened in the past. Everything is based on the past. Here, basically. Don't let that twist you. The door's not exits. Trying to leave, you don't leave, you just end up going there. Here, at least you know how to walk, talk, and gauge things. There, you're going to have to learn all over again. Here, you know who to trust. No one. Or, everyone to do exactly what they're doing, to be human and be used, manipulated by spirits and blah 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 blah. Governments blah 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 going to pimp everybody and use and crush and destroy. You are the only light and good stuff that's in the planet. It's all on the people and animals and the plants, even though they're way better than the people because of whatever the game. So just understand that here is basically where you want to be. The doors are not exits. That's the back of it. Yes, so there you go. Say la vie, that's life, the spirit part, the blue. The Jew is the tangible. This here, the tangible. That's what the skull represents. The physical, tangible world. Say la guerre is the mind, because the war is in the mind, the battle's in the mind and for the mind, which is why there's that whole bridging of the gap between the two, which is the Christ consciousness and blah 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 blah. Whatever. Watch the video on that thing there, and then you'll see all the explanations on it. Yeah, so that's that. I am being. So that's the more honest version. As opposed to I am black. I am being. This is in the moment, because I is in the moment. You're conscious of yourself in time, in the moment. What you're doing is everything for you to get the knowing of the divinity of yourself in the moment, as I am right now. Be is the verb part, what you are being, the spirit that you are in, the thing that has your attention, consciously what you're expressing right now. The ing is the part where that is the actual it being expressed and realized. The degree to which you know it through your expression of it right now. Does that make sense? If it does, then it does. If not, then well. But that's just what you're being right now. You're being confused. I am confused. If you're understanding it, I am understanding. Now here's the thing. That no gods before me. Just I am, period. What it is the trick is there's a line here. There's a line here, a separation between I am and being. The three spiritual relationships. So yeah, there's a chart of three spiritual relationships. Yes, yeah. Being with the spirit, having a spirit, or being in a spirit. So what it is I, then am, and then the expression is your relationship. I am, and if this is, again, Holy Spirit, all the spirits are in there. This is the spirit of happiness. This is you expressing that. So I am with happiness. I am having happiness. I am in happiness. Or happiness is in me. Happiness is having me. Happiness is with me. See, it's with. This is having. And the color itself is in. See how there's black and the white, or white and the black. You can't distinguish them. When you see one, you see them both. Here, when you see one, you see one. When you see the other, you see the other. Here, when they're having it, you could see if it was split right down the middle, you could see that they're together in each point. They're having each other in each point, but each is its own thing. Although half of it is gone, it still has half of its individuality is intact. If I gave you a coin right now and you have the coin in your hand, you're going to see one side of your hand, which is going to be blocked by some of the coin, the part where the coin is sitting. You can't see that other part of your hand. Meanwhile, you can't see the other part of your coin that's, touching your hand. You can only see the side that's facing you. So you can't fully see what you have. Both yourself that you have and the spirit energy thing that you have. Part of you is blocking it, part of it is blocking you. Whatever. Do what you can with all that. Anyway, that's the line that's here. Is I am with or having or in the spirit. The energy. The thing that you're going to have be your God. The only thing about spirit of God, what God is just my will is divine. So this becomes the divine thing. This becomes what is showing you the divinity in the moment. The being in the moment. That's what this is, whatever spirit this is. Happiness, I am happy. So then your divinity, you understanding and knowing your fullness, the part where you become everything, the thing that unlocks you into your Sabbath state, that unlocks your Sabbath state for you, is happiness, which is not you. You are you. Okay? You are having happiness, you're with happiness, or you're in the spirit of happiness. That's that, right? But that will allow you to see your full self. You can accomplish more things with that spirit. You can use that spirit to get whatever you can get through that lens, wearing that suit, wearing that energy, wearing that vibration, tuning your brain and yourself and your being, your mind, all that to that way of expressing, to that frequency, blah, 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 whatever. This thing here. This is what I was explaining for some folks, because some folks obviously somebody needed to hear that, or else it wouldn't have bugged me to do this video. It wouldn't have occurred to me to do it. because I was doing something else, and it just somehow just became a pressing issue. So here's that. Yay. Alright, bye. Go to the store, get yourself some stuff. SamuraiRoar.com. There you go. Just had to check the footage right quick to make sure the volume is actually going in. Because every now and then it likes to, like, if you're saying something really deep and profound or whatever, not that it's deep or profound, it's really regular. It's just the stuff that a lot of people are distracted from and have been removed from. Things that, you know, it'll help you recenter and get back to your actual pure Sabbath state. Life would be like, screw you, pal. We're going to all that up for you and, you know, just completely screw you over. So I had to check and make sure that the volume is actually recording. I have to do that sometimes. You hit record, your volume's gonna work, because a lot of folks just reposting crap. You set yourself to something actually decent and, you know, like walking your purpose, life's gonna repeatedly until you kill yourself. Or at least it'll get you to try, or something like that. Anyway, I am black. Do not have any other gods before me. Don't put anything in front of yourself that was going to draw your attention. Your attention is the power.